أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. MashaAllah, we've got quality brothers here today. MashaAllah. Nice to meet you, bro. Allah yabarik fikum. SubhanAllah, it's been a week, but it's felt like it's been longer. SubhanAllah. Time's going slow, yet it's also going very fast, isn't it? Exam season is very fast, yeah? It's right around the corner. But at the same time, it also feels very slow, SubhanAllah. Today, I want to talk about something which I think is very important, and it affects every single person. Every single person is affected by this in every single way. Now I want you to imagine, right? Imagine something that you care about in your life, something that you want to achieve. Maybe it's getting good marks, getting good grades in university. Maybe it's earning a certain income. Maybe it's a certain plan that you've got. Right? Imagine something that you've got on, for example, this week. Right? And then imagine that getting completely shattered, completely destroyed, and it doesn't happen. You want that mark? Every single person gets the mark except you. You're in a competition, everyone gets through except you. Your parents, they love every single one of your brothers and sisters except you. In that moment. Whatever it is, imagine you're the only one that doesn't receive that thing. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, regarding Qadr, regarding what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written for you, that if it's something that has been written for you, it's never going to miss you. Even if the entire world, all of the millions and billions of people were to combine together to stop you from getting something, if it's been written for you, you will get it. You will achieve it. Your rizq, what Allah's predetermined for you, your sustenance, that's been written for you before you were born. And no one can get in the way of that. So what we're talking about today, brothers, is this idea of accepting Qadr. What does that mean? Accepting Qadr. Accepting what Allah's written for you. I believe that a lot of the diseases that people have, when I say diseases, I don't mean physical diseases. I'm talking about diseases of the heart. Right? There are diseases of the heart that exist where people's hearts are not happy and their hearts are not content. Their hearts are darkened. The purity has been destroyed. These diseases come because of ungratefulness and because people are not happy with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written for them. Think about every single moment you were deeply unhappy. Chances are it's probably because you didn't get a thing that you wanted. A certain plan that you had didn't work out for you. It didn't go the way you wanted it to go. You wanted to go to uni for a year, you're going there for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, however long. You wanted a certain income, you got nothing. You wanted a certain car, you didn't get it. You applied for a certain thing, you never got it. You got rejected. Time after time after time. This idea, right, is this idea of Qadr, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written what is best for you. Yes, subhanAllah, we're in a society where brothers, all of us, we compare each other to others so much, and it's so toxic. It's really, Allah subhanAllah, it's really, really, really horrible. People are comparing each other in every single way. It's to a point where people, literally, when they see another brother or sister succeeding, even if they don't have the thing, they don't want them to have it. Like, for example, imagine someone studying another degree. They're getting HDs. There are some people who, even though they're not doing that degree, they still don't want that person to get HDs. They still don't want that person to do well. You know, you were having fun outside on a certain day with the boys, for example, and someone else was studying. There are people who in their heart, they hate the fact that someone just like them was studying and putting in hard work. Someone just like them was working when they were relaxing. People are filled with toxicity, jealousy, and subhanAllah, it's really, really horrible. And how on earth can we achieve happiness if in our hearts, we're not even happy? If in our hearts, when you get a blessing, you're constantly looking and saying, what did everyone else get? Do you see how problematic this mindset is? And this mindset comes from one thing. It's not accepting. When I say accepting, it's like, it's not fully appreciating what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. It's like, I'll be happy on the condition that I've got more than everyone else. You know what I'm saying? Now you might think, oh, this only happens to people who are younger. You know, in high school, it's your grades. Maybe it might be fitness, who's stronger, who can beat who in an arm wrestle, or who's better at wrestling, or, you know, everyone's got something that they compare each other with. And as you get older, and as people get older, rather, do you know what the comparisons become? It doesn't end. Who's got the better property? I own 2 properties, man. You own 1, I've got 2. Someone's got 3, someone's got 4. And genuinely, people in their heart, they're not happy because someone else has another property, because someone else has bigger land. This is genuinely like, when they wake up in the morning, this is genuinely what makes them sad. Like, that's the thing holding them from peace. Imagine, subhanAllah. And this could be us. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from this very toxic disease of comparison, this disease of ungratefulness, this disease of pride, and this disease of not accepting what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written for you. And when people get even older, do you know who they compare? They compare their kids. My daughter did this. She memorized quicker than your daughter. Therefore, my daughter is better than yours. My son does this. He's working in this company. Your son, he didn't study. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Do you see how like these comparisons, they never stop? I am in this leadership position. Oh wait, that person's got a high position in another organization. Man, I'm not good enough. This is horrible. My life sucks. People are literally comparing each other to a point where they are destroying any prospect of happiness. And the sad part about it is, this disease is something that we can all get. No one's immune to it. The disease of comparison. And when you speak to people, subhanAllah, you notice this in their eyes when you talk to them. You notice this very deep sense of sadness. I don't know if you see it as well when you speak to some people, or a lot of people rather. This sadness, and you ask them, what's going on? What's happening? Like, why are you not happy? And it's always because they're not grateful for what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them. It's literally always the answer, most of the time. SubhanAllah, personally, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me with going to Jordan 2 years ago. With Human Appeal on a trip, and we got to see people who were experiencing conditions that we can't even imagine. I'm talking people, subhanAllah, who are living in tents. Imagine, 10 years old, 9 years old, they ran from Syria barefoot, their parents passed away, and these are the few that just managed to survive. Yet subhanAllah, when I spoke to these young boys, and when I spoke to these parents, do you know what I saw? The happiest people in the entire world. When you speak to them, you see their eyes are twinkling with nur. You don't see this in Melbourne. You don't see people's eyes twinkling. You see people's eyes darkened because they're cheating others with their wealth. They're cheating others with their time. They're manipulative. They're not honest. Allah's not going to give nur to people who do this. But these people overseas, they were honest. They were pure. They were happy. Like, alhamdulillah, we've got our tent. You know, they didn't have a toilet. They didn't have a toilet. Assalamu alaikum, bro. Assalamu alaikum, guys. I was talking about people, a trip when I went overseas to Jordan, Abdurrahman. Yeah, remember that trip? Yeah? Talking about how, subhanAllah, when they're under 10 years old, and even the mothers, they were so happy. Yeah, if you guys come close, inshallah. They were so content. When I asked the mothers who've lost all their children, how are you doing? They're like, alhamdulillah, I'm amazing. May Allah reward you. Like, they're making dua for you. What do? We carried like some cushions and gas stove. That's like, you know, gas, sorry. That's all we carried. And now they're making dua for us. Because they understood, they're grateful that what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them. They're not ungrateful. Yet here we have absolutely every single thing, yet we feel like we have nothing. Because we don't accept what Allah has written for us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, in many different ayat, and the concept is that you plan and Allah is the best of planners. Think about how humbling that is, yeah? You know, a lot of people walk around thinking like they're big men. They think there's something big. You know, I'm going to organize, I'm going to plan my life, and they get shattered. Because the reality is, if you don't fully submit to what Allah's written for you, You've got two options. You either will submit naturally, inshallah, or you have a midlife crisis that will force you to submit to what Allah has written for you. And I've seen this firsthand. Do you guys get what I mean? Some people have the midlife crisis at our age, and some people get it at 50, 60 years old. With their kids, they get it. You know, everyone's going to get it. Everyone receives it. You know, it might be in your own life, you might have children that cause you the biggest headache of your life. Ba'd al-shar, may Allah protect us. You will get a midlife crisis. And if you don't accept what Allah has written for you, you have no choice now but to accept what Allah has written for you. When your life's in chaos, when you've got 1 million things going on, when you wake up in the morning and you don't know what to do, this is when you realize, Ya Allah, you are the best of planners. Ya Allah, I don't know. You become humble enough to say, I don't know what's going on. I have no clue. Ya Allah, guide me. Whatever my plans were, I'm throwing it away. I don't know what to do. I need your guidance. I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. You know, when you got like all these assessments coming in and you don't know how to do it. You know, I feel like everyone right now is in their mind. They've probably got like 3, 4, 5 subjects that they're trying to juggle. Or whatever you've got. Yeah? Maybe you've got a business you're trying to start up and blah, blah, blah. You got all these things, yeah? In these moments where you're in chaos, you know, you've got 100 unanswered text messages and you've got all these things. This is when you say, Ya Allah, I don't know, guide me. I will do. You pray istikhara. You humble yourself. You submit yourself. Because subhanAllah, the disease of competition and comparison, it's a disease that's very, very horrible. And subhanAllah, the really interesting thing, and may I say the sad thing, is that this comparison, do you think that this comparison happens like with everything except people who study Islam? It happens even with people who study the deen for the wrong reason. Do you guys get what I'm talking about? There are some people who study it not to learn it and purify their heart, but to say, I know more than you, so listen to me. But to say, it's the wrong intention, but to gain status, respect in the community. I've done this, I want status. The disease of competition and comparison, the shaitan will infiltrate that in every single facet. So even when we're studying the deen, even when we're studying Islam, we have to be very careful. We have to say, Ya Allah, purify this. Ya Allah, allow me to seek knowledge for your sake, not any other sake. Do you see what I mean? Like, the competition even happens with people in the Islamic sphere, which is crazy. Like, you wouldn't expect that, would you? This sheikh doesn't know what he's talking about. You know when people talk like that, with that language, this person doesn't know what he's talking. That is a sense of pride. You think you're something, to try and undermine someone else. Have you heard people speak like that? Should you be speaking like that about another person? Of course not. Then why do people do that? Comparison. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He studied this, he doesn't know. You can't talk. You see what I mean? It's all competition. This person's a dropkick. He doesn't study, he's lazy. You can't call someone else a dropkick. Who do you think you are? It all comes down to pride and toxic comparisons. And the solution is simple. The solution is to realize that all of us are not immune to tribulation and hardship. We're going to go through, inshallah, may Allah allow us to go through this very strongly and very powerfully, but we're going to all go through some really, really tough times. Doesn't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter how you've been raised, you're going to get it, right? You're going to experience it. You might have a bad friend. It might be a marriage that you have that doesn't work out. It could be children. It could be, you might have everything work out for you. However, the state of the ummah, you look at the state of the ummah and that in and of itself makes you sad. Because a believer, right, a true believer views the ummah as one body, as the Rasul ﷺ says. And if one part of the body is in pain, as the hadith goes, the rest of the body is in pain. So if anyone is truly living here like they're in Jannah, completely happy, and they don't feel that, they're neglecting the hadith, which is that you need to feel the pain of the others. And that we all need to humble ourselves and realize that we all need each other. We all truly need each other. And that we should want each other to grow for the sake of Allah. We want every single one of us, inshallah, to be at the very top, at the pinnacle, because we need it. Wallah, we need it. You know what I mean? It's very selfish. Assalamu alaikum, bro. It's very selfish to assume that you should rise while others fall. Because that's not what a Muslim believes. And when you talk to people, we should talk to people with love and respect. We shouldn't undermine people or put them down. Because we're comparing ourselves because we don't accept Qadr. Yeah? To see how it all links? Ask yourself, how do I treat people who are younger than me? Do I only treat people who are higher status good? Or do I treat people, no matter who they are, very good? Think about it. When you meet someone who's older than you, who's doing something that you want to do in life, that everyone respects, how do you talk to them? Now, how do you talk to your mother if she's still alive? May Allah preserve our mothers. How do you talk to your siblings? If you've got a young sibling who's probably in primary school or something, how do you talk to them? See what I mean? And if you see a difference, and if it's incongruous and there's a difference in the way you treat people, you yourself and I myself are the problem. It means that we, without realizing, are inconsistent with who we are. It means that we are comparing ourselves and that we are succumbing to societal pressures and that we want to be seen as something special in the eyes of others. Because if we didn't care about what others think, we treat everyone very well. See what I mean? So to accept Qadr, to be happy with what you have, to be happy with things and without things, it requires you to truly accept that Allah can take away whatever you have. And that whatever we have, it does not belong to any of us. Nothing belongs to us. Whatever you think you have, that you think you've worked hard for, it can easily be taken away. It could be your health. How many people, their health goes away? SubhanAllah. Even recently, there have been some very prominent Muslim figures, even as of yesterday, that have passed away. Allah yarhamhum. I'm not going to, Our health. You think you're something big, your health will go away, and we'll see what you think after that happens. You think you're something big because you're in the community and people respect you, the community will start to ridicule you. We'll see how you respond then. You see, if something has poisoned your heart, Allah will take it away from you to show you what it's done to you and to bring you back to Him out of His mercy and out of His love. But we don't want to be, inshallah, we don't want to be in a position where we have to lose things to realize the value of them. Do we want that to happen to us? We don't want that. So how do we protect ourselves? It's by accepting A, that we are going to lose things in life. B, humbling ourselves, realizing that we are nothing, subhanAllah. Realizing that any human being that you talk to, you're never too busy to talk, you're never too busy to speak to someone, you're never too busy to connect with someone. That idea of I'm too busy comes from a sense of entitlement. You think you control your time when you don't control your time. We need to treat each other with respect, with love. When you really love someone, you give them advice, you genuinely care, like you actually speak to them. You won't wrap up the conversation and tell them, yalla go. You would actually care. And it's through these actions that we accept what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. And that is the idea of accepting Qadr. And the moment that we try and hold the pen of control and we try and write our own narrative is the moment that we failed. And the moment that we ourselves will experience a downfall unlike any other. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us and allow us to accept Qadr. I'll keep this reminder, I don't know how long it's went for, but we'll keep it short because you all got classes. And you've all got things to get done, don't we? Inshallah. So may Allah make it easy for us. Do we have any reflections, comments, questions? Anyone have a story? MashaAllah, a lot of stories, a lot of reflections. Jazakallah khairan, guys, and Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. Thank you very much.